And breaking news coming in this hour, India has played down the blatant Chinese provocation. Ministry of External Affairs has claimed that ground reality does not change through cartographic depictions. MEA spokesperson Syed Akbaruddin said the fact that Arunachal Pradesh is an integral part of India has been made clear to China at every discussion at the highest level. MEA also said that all issues of concern will come up when PM Narendra Modi meets Chinese President in Brazil later this year. Let's get a word from our Deputy Editor Ashar Ahmad Khan, who's joining us on the phone line. Ashar, a blatant provocation by China, but the Indian government attempting to play it down.
Well, this is not the first time that this has happened. In fact, since 2007 and 2008, there have been perceptions about the line about the boundary line from both the sides. Clearly, there has been no clear demarcation. So this is what keeps on coming almost every 6 months, every year. We also see that there have been incursions in the form of helicopters being spotted in the Indian territory. So whenever somebody in government, be it the UPA or the NDA, is asked, their basic response is that there are separate perceptions about what exactly is the border. But yes, this time round, the Ministry of External Affairs coming out and categorically stating that cartographic representation is a different thing, but what is there at the actual ground is something which is completely different, in the sense that Arunachal Pradesh is a part of India. But clearly, on the other hand, that politics is overtaking this issue, because we are seeing that there are attacks which are coming from the Congress for the ruling BJP.
Absolutely, Ashar. And as far as domestic politics is concerned, how is this likely to play out in the days ahead, considering the fact that when the BJP was in the opposition, it had time and again targeted the Manmohan Singh government for going soft on China?
Well, absolutely. It had constantly done that. But now we've seen that there is a reaction from the Congress which categorically states that what happened to the 56-inch chest, which would say that any eye which looks at India will be taken care of. So clearly, as far as local politics is concerned, the blame game still very much on, and it is going to get even intense in the days to come.
All right, let's get in a word from Mr. Kamal Mitra. He's the Professor of International Affairs. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. Mr. Chinna, how do you react to this latest map that's been released by China? Mr. Chinoy, can you hear me? I believe we've lost that line. We'll try and reconnect with Mr. Kamal Mitra. Ashar Ahmad Khan, our Deputy Editor, is with us on the phone line. Ashar, and it's not just Indian territory that this latest map shows China claiming as its own. There are also other islands which are clearly disputed as far as other Southeast Asian countries are concerned, that China is taking claim over.
Well, absolutely. In fact, this new map which has been released by the Chinese shows that their perception of their boundaries is completely different to what others think and others feel, and perhaps also to what is the actual situation prevailing at the ground level. But clearly, what India has been saying is that they are going to take this up at every level. It has already been taken up at several levels, and now in due course, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits Brazil, where he would also be interacting with the Chinese leadership, he will convey the same thing there. Clearly, the government trying to put its point across, but on the other hand, what the government says or government is trying to impress upon is that there is nothing to panic, in the sense that these things have been brought to our notice, these things are being discussed, so there is no need to panic, so to speak.
All right, Ashar, stay on with us. I believe we can now go across to Mr. Kamal Mitra Chinoy, who's with us on the phone line. Dr. Chinoy, how do you react to this latest map put out by China?
Listen, this has been going on before independence. At that stage itself, the Chinese never accepted any of the British maps, unlike India. And that's what led to the skirmish in 1959 and the war in 1962. So this is going to go on. We just have to maintain readiness on the border. The Chinese is not going to attack. And if there is a visit by the PM, tensions will go down. This is just politics. It's not military.
Right. But, Dr. Chinoy, this map being put out by China and backed by repeated incursions by the Chinese military into Arunachal Pradesh and even Ladakh, don't you think this is a cause of concern and the government probably needs to take it up more seriously?
Yeah, it is of course a cause of concern, but I think the quickness with which the Chinese offered a visit to our Prime Minister shows that they want some resolution. Because after all, moving up and down the Ladakh-Arunachal border is also tiring and expensive for the Chinese. And there's certainly no condition to militarily overwhelm us. So they're not gaining anything by this.
Absolutely. The Chinese also, in fact, emphasizing on infrastructure development along the LOC. Dr. Shenoy, please stay on with us. I believe we're getting in a reaction from MEA spokesperson Syed Akbaruddin. Let's listen in.
The fact that Arunachal Pradesh is an integral and inalienable part of India has been clearly conveyed to the Chinese authorities on several occasions, including at the very highest level.
All right, Dr. Shenoy, thanks so much for speaking to Headlines today. I believe we still have with us our Deputy Editor Ashar Ahmad Khan, who's with us on a phone line from the national capital. Ashar, the timing of this map is also a cause of concern for India because Vice President Hamid Ansari is currently in Beijing right now for a summit that is said to commemorate a historic agreement between India and China.
Well, absolutely, the Vice President is there, but then if the map would have been India specific, then there would have been boundary issues with India also. But there have been what we're being told is that there are some other small islands with which there is dispute, and it is being shown within territory of China. So as far as perceptions on the boundary are concerned, these are different perceptions between India and China, and as the Ministry of External Affairs has categorically stated, that the position on the ground is completely different from whatever is being depicted in these maps.
Absolutely. And, you know, Ashar, we played out that reaction coming in from MEA spokesperson Syed Akbaruddin. Even as he tries to play down this controversy, we're getting reactions from the RSS spokesperson Ram Madhav has said, and I'm going to quote from what he said now, China's attitude has always been against the spirit of Panchil. It follows the Sun Tzu principle of talk sweet and hit hard. The Modi government obviously is going to be under pressure from the RSS as well to take this issue more seriously with the Chinese leadership and not play it down.
Well, absolutely. The government will be telling its Chinese counterparts in no uncertain terms that whatever has been demarcated is clearly not the current position on the ground. But we'll have to wait and watch as to how things pan out when the real time comes for actual negotiations. Because we also have to understand that this is not something new which has just started. This is something which has been going on for a very long time. And the previous UPA government came in under a lot of criticism from the then opposition, which was the NDA. So now clearly the BJP-led government would be emphasizing with its Chinese counterparts regarding having the sanctity in cartographic descriptions also.
All right, Asha, thanks so much for taking us through developments on this big story. We'll continue tracking this and keep coming back to you for more updates and as we get reactions from political parties as well.